Welcome to the Explainer. Look, if you're aiming to land a top tier role in the booming artificial intelligence sector this year, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going to completely decode the latest economic data, pinpoint the exact portfolio strategies hiring managers are literally desperate for right now, and navigate the very real and honestly often complex logistics of work visas. By the end of our time together, you're going to have a crystal clear, actionable roadmap on how to secure an AI job in 2026. We've got a lot of ground to cover today. We'll start off by digging into the massive macro trends that are creating a real divide in AI talent. Then we'll look at the specific roles commanding the absolute highest salaries, break down the projects you need to prove your worth, highlight some incredible remote startups hiring right now, and finally, for our global talent, we'll walk through the essential U.S. work visa logistics.
First up, we really need to talk about what's actually happening out there in the broader economy. To figure out what employers truly want, we have to look at the macro trends.
And to do that, we pulled some fascinating insights from PwC's 2026 Global AI Jobs Barometer. They analyzed over 1 billion job ads to show us exactly how AI is reshaping the global labor market. And wow, check out this number, 62%. Just let that sink in for a second. That staggering number represents the average wage premium for AI skills in 2026. It's up from last year, and it's largely driven by what the data calls superstar companies. These are the organizations that are heavily leaned into AI, and because of it, they're seeing an unbelievable 163% productivity gain compared to their 2018 baselines. Because these companies are growing their headcount way faster than businesses ignoring AI, they are more than willing to pay an absolute premium for the right talent. But, that begs a question. What exactly defines the right talent? Well, we're basically looking at a stark two-track labor market right now. There's this massive divide between what the report calls professionalized and democratized roles. Democratized roles, those are the ones where AI basically makes the job easier for a non-expert to do. And frankly, we're seeing much slower growth there, with declining demand at the entry level. But then you have professionalized roles. This is where the magic happens. This is where AI acts as a massive force multiplier for experts. These roles demand serious, human-intensive skills. Think judgment, creativity, leadership, and the data shows it. These jobs are seeing twice the growth in availability and 42% faster salary growth. The main takeaway for you here, employers aren't just looking for someone who knows how to run a basic AI prompt. They want strategic experts who use AI to supercharge their own human judgment. Okay, so the economic stakes are huge, the shift is real, but let's get specific. Where exactly is the money? Let's pinpoint the roles commanding these premiums. Let's take a look at some data from Skillify. Specializations like generative AI, machine learning engineering, and AI product management offer immense earning potential right now. I mean, we're looking at ranges consistently breaking the $150,000 mark, with ML engineers pushing all the way up to $250,000. But I want you to notice the required skills listed here. It is not just knows a bit about AI. We're talking Python, TensorFlow, LangChain, RAG systems, and deep AI strategy. These companies are paying for practical production-level execution. If you want these salaries, you absolutely have to be able to build the actual systems that drive those productivity gains we were just talking about. But here's the catch, right? How do you actually prove to these hiring managers that you can build those systems? Getting those salaries requires building the right proof. There's this fantastic, kind of brutal truth that came out of the DEV community recently, and it goes like this. A Jupyter notebook with model.predict tells them nothing about how you build real systems. It's so true. Getting those massive salaries requires way more than just listing a bunch of trendy tools on your resume. Because honestly, anyone can write LangChain on their LinkedIn profile. In 2026, everyone has a basic chatbot or some fine-tuned model in their portfolio. Hiring managers scan for production signals. They really don't care if you can follow a step-by-step tutorial. They want to know if you can handle unexpected system failures, if you can structure messy data, and if you can actually ship working software that a real business can rely on. So to really prove your worth, the dev community outlined a specific 5-step progression of projects you should be building. First up, step 1, document Q&A with RAG. This proves you can connect a large language model to actual company data, not just the generic stuff it was trained on. Then step 2, structured data extraction. This shows you can force an LLM to return reliable, usable data objects, rather than just spitting out a raw paragraph of text. Step 3 introduces autonomous systems, a tool calling AI agent that can actually take actions on its own. Now, step 4, this is your secret weapon, an LLM evaluation pipeline. Most developers completely skip this, but building an evaluation pipeline proves you know how to reliably measure if your AI is hallucinating. Finally, step 5, deploy everything behind an API. This is the cherry on top, proving you can ship AI as a service, totally ready for a front-end team to plug into.
Because at the end of the day, rather than just showing off that you can generate some text, your portfolio needs to absolutely scream reliability. Hiring managers are hunting for exact production signals. They want to see things like, are you using Pydantic for robust data validation? When your AI agent fails to call a tool, do you have exponential backoff and error recovery built in so the whole application doesn't just crash? Are you using Deep Evil for automated testing to catch those hallucinations before they ever reach a user? And finally, is the whole shebang packaged safely in a Docker container so it can be deployed literally anywhere? If you pair these highly technical mechanisms with a crystal clear README file explaining your engineering decisions, you will instantly stand out from 90% of the applicant pool. For sure.
All right, you've built the portfolio, you've got the proof. Now, where do you actually send it? Let's talk about the remote startups actively hiring right now. Based on some great hiring signals from Search Qualify, let's take a look at the remote-first landscape. Just notice the sheer variety of businesses leveraging AI for real-world workflows here. You've got Zapier, which is heavily focused on AI automation, and they're hiring across product, support, and go-to-market. Then there's Cohere. For the heavy hitters building enterprise foundation models, they are eagerly looking for top-tier researchers and engineers. And Tynes, they focus on AI workflow automation specifically for security and IT operations. What all these companies share is a strong remote-first culture. Meaning, to succeed here, you don't just need technical chops, your asynchronous communication skills, like writing crisp updates and really clear decision logs. That is exactly what's going to set you apart during their interview processes. Now, I know we have a lot of international viewers aiming to join these incredible global and US-based teams, so we absolutely have to talk about logistics. Navigating US work visas is crucial. This is a monumental shift you need to be aware of. According to data from Meltzer Helrung, U.S. immigration policy has officially moved away from the traditional purely random H-1B lottery. Instead, for fiscal year 2027, we are looking at a wage-weighted selection system. So what does this actually mean for you? Well, it means the system is now actively prioritizing higher-paid, higher-skilled workers. Basically, if you are offered a level 4 wage, you can get up to 4 entries in the selection pool. This policy perfectly aligns with those high-paying generative AI and machine learning roles we were looking at earlier. Simply put, landing a high salary directly translates to a much, much stronger chance of securing your visa. If you're already in that H-1B pool, this is your critical timeline to watch. Registration officially closed back in mid-March, and selections are released by the end of March in rolling batches. It is incredibly important that you and your employer monitor your USCIS accounts really carefully during these rollout periods. A submitted status means you might still be picked later on, whereas a selected status means it is time to coordinate and file your petition immediately.
But look, we know the H-1B doesn't always pan out on the first try. If that happens, don't panic. There's a highly powerful alternative pathway, the F1 OPT STEM extension. If you have a qualifying STEM degree, this actually grants you an additional 2 years of work authorization beyond your initial 1-year OPT. Now, the requirements are strict. Your employer has to be enrolled in the E-Verify system, and they have to work directly with you to submit a formal qualifying training plan to your designated school official. Yes, it requires coordination, but it's an invaluable bridge to keep you working and gaining that essential experience in the U.S. market while you figure out your next steps. So, let's bring it all together. We've covered the massive economic premiums companies are paying for AI expertise, the exact salary targets for the hottest roles, the specific portfolio projects that actually prove you can ship real systems, and the crucial visa logistics to help get you there. The whole roadmap is laid out right in front of you. The only question left to ask yourself is, are you going to keep running basic tutorials, or are you ready to build the production-grade systems that command 2026's top salaries? Get out there, start building, and we'll see you in the next explainer.